On the deadline for sending the plan, a recommendation was made to Member States to send the revised plans by the end of April. So that was to make the procedure easier for approval. But that is indicative. And we also talked about a deadline for seeking out subsequent payments. That was for August, the month of August. So those are the two dates we indicated. And just to come back to your first question now, my team has told me that 15 member states have already received a first payment under the Recovery and Resilience Facility. Now, if you want the exact list, we'll send that to you by email if you so wish.
What I can say is that work is ongoing on the assessment of Italy's third payment request, and our services are in close contact with the Italian authorities in this context. What I can say is indeed, as you were recalling, we have in principle 2 months to assess payment request. At the time of the submission of the third payment request by Italy, which happened on the 30th of December last year, in mutual agreement with the Italian authorities, the assessment period was extended since the origin by 1 month, following a joint assessment concerning the complexity of the request. A further extension of 30 days has been agreed with the Italian authorities to finalize the work on both sides, and also to make sure that all evidence provided by Italy could be properly considered. This is not unusual. Let me recall, it has happened for assessments of payment requests of other member states as well. We are still within this frame. As always is the case, the Commission assessment of a given measure under the Recovery and Resilience Plans and related commentary can only come after all milestones and targets linked to a specific payment request have been completed and the assessment of the payment request has been finalized. As I said, we're still within the 30 days time frame, so I cannot prejudge what is going to happen when this deadline expires. And let me recall, as I just mentioned, we are, of course, in close contact with the Italian authorities on this matter. So this is in the context of Repower EU. As I said, this is a possibility member states have, and the deadline of end April was an indication we gave to member states, so not a hard deadline, but an indication to allow for a swift assessment of the revised plans to allow us enough time to do so.
On top of that, or is this the end of the road? Virginie, as I said, we're still within the deadline, so I don't want to make any preemptive comments because obviously after the deadline lapses, we will make the necessary communications, but I'm not going to preempt the context and the deadline for the approval of the request. I could add that we've just published today a memo which clarifies the questions that have to do with the Repower EU chapters and also the revision of the RRPs. That's going to be available in the press corner, so it might be useful for you to look at that because it may be able to answer some of the questions that you have. Generally speaking, I think that we have a possibility to make an agreement with the member state with regard to an additional deadline. We're not there yet because we're still in a phase that will end at the end of the month.